so let's get started. First thing I do want to say is that if you are not presenting at the moment, please place yourself on mute. That way we don't get any interruptions from other noise outside of our presentation. So I really appreciate that. All right. So Charlie Mike Continue Mission. Charlie Mike started with us about, I think we're on year 4, maybe year 5. But Charlie Mike has been with us for quite some time. The significant meaning behind it is that it is our way of telling our veterans, telling service members, telling those that are starting off in college or maybe getting back on track with college, either like post-service or even while they are serving, but this is your time to continue mission. This is your time to pursue those educational goals, those career goals that you have decided to pursue, maybe the ones that you stopped, and then now it's time to get back to them. So this is your time to continue mission. But you need to know that you are not alone through this. You have a whole team behind you, a whole team. You have a whole array of veteran services and resources that you can utilize and you should seek out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our orientation. So for today, we are going to be covering the Veterans Resource Center. Who are we? What do we do? How can we serve you? We're going to cover Project Serves, the Veterans Club, U.S. Vets Outside the Wire, policies and procedures, DSPNS, EOPNS, using VA education benefits at ELAC, and hopefully we have some time at the end to plug in a Q&A session. So we are the Veterans Resource Center at ELAC, and we are your VRC team. We're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. For those of us who are not here today, I will go ahead and do a plug-in and introduce that staff member if they can't because they're not here. So my name is Jessica Peak. I am the Veterans Resource Center Director and the Veterans Counselor. I have been a counselor at ELAC for 13 years, and I have been working directly supporting our student veterans and military students for the past, I want to say about 8 years. So I am very happy to be part of this community, to be a part of the veteran community, veteran service provider community as well. And I'm just happy that you've chosen ELAC to pursue your higher education goals.
Hello, everyone. My name is Salvador Murillo. I'm a disability specialist. I've been working at ELAC since 2018. I started at the DSPNS actually, and then about a year after, I was actually transferred to the VRC, and I'm actually the bridge of from DSPNS students who qualify, along with the VRC veterans. So welcome, and any questions. And I also do some academic advising for educational plans. So again, welcome.
Mark, you there? Diaz?
Yes, I am. Hi, just muted myself. So my name is Mark Diaz. I'm one of the school certifying officials at East LA College. I'm the one that will certify your benefits for your VA educational benefits, also do the case management for Chapter 31. However, come October 1st, Roz EL, who you'll be meeting next, will be the primary school certifying official. So he'll be the one that you'll be reaching out to for all your GI Bill, VA benefit related questions. So welcome. I've been here with the VRC for about 2 years. Prior service, Marines, Marine Corps, and like I said, I'm proud, to be part of the veteran community at the college and helping you guys out. And I'm still going to be part of the veteran community even after October 1st. So, thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Raziel. Like Mark said, after October, I'll be the primary SEO. I've been with the VRC for about a year and a half, I want to say, or longer, maybe 2 years, not too sure. But yeah, I'm here to help you guys out and whatever needs you guys have.
So Michael Garcia is a U.S. Army veteran. He has been supporting the VRC through his undergraduate years, and now he's a grad student. But he started off at ELAC pretty much from scratch and utilized VRC services, ended up becoming a peer mentor with the VRC, and now as a grad student pursuing a degree in counseling, he's now our peer counseling specialist. So Michael will be joining us at 10:30, and he's probably going to tell you exactly what I told you, but I will have him introduce himself to you once he joins. Okay. Thomas Ortiz is not here with us today either. He's actually doing his internship. Just like Mike, he started at ELAC from scratch. He transferred to UCLA, has his bachelor's degree from there, and is now doing his MSW at Cal State LA. He is also our peer counseling specialist for the fall. So both Mike and Thomas will be your team to help you out to make sure that you're staying on track, on top of your classes, that if your courses start to get challenging, if life gets challenging, they're there for you. They will be your direct contact to make sure they're trying to look out for you and guiding you towards the best resources out there so that you do succeed. Cindy Tai is not here with us today either. I promise we have a great staff. They just have other things. But so Cindy Tai started with us at the VRC working, I don't know, about a year ago now. So she's been with us for about a year. She is a peer mentor and VA certification support. She just started at USC, so she transferred from ELAC to USC just this semester. So she's new to USC. And Richard, are you here, Richard? Okay. And Richard So is another one of our peer mentors. He is also our Veterans Club president. He started at ELAC, I think about a year or a year and a half ago, but he recently was accepted to USC and will be starting at USC in the spring. So he does have a seat there for the spring already. So as you can hear, just from talking about our 4 student workers who started at ELAC, they're all veterans, and they have successfully started from day one and are pursuing the pathway that they wanted to. All 4 of them, what they have in common is that they have connected with the VRC and with our services. And we're not going to take credit for everything. We'll guide you, but you have to take that forward. And just like these 4 that are on our staff, you can do it too. And if you ever wanted to reach out to any of them, just to ask them about their experience, all 4 of them, any 4 of them are willing to speak with you. Okay, so at ELAC, we offer veteran and military student support programs. The following programs are pretty much a culmination of everything that is offered for you through our VRC. You are more than welcome and you are encouraged to use other programs that we'll discuss later that are not connected to the VRC, but they're programs that are offered through ELAC. These, though, however, are specific for our military connected students. So we have the Veterans Resource Center. We have SERVS, which is the Pathways and Internship Program for Veterans in STEM. We have the Salute National Veterans Honor Society. If you have a 3.0 or higher and you're interested in joining Salute, reach out to our VRC and we'll give you the application for that. We also offer VETS, which is Veterans Empowering Through Sisterhood. It is a women veterans network, and this semester we will be having monthly luncheons. We also have the Veterans Club. They are very active. They go on hikes. They have social events. Coming up in about 2 weeks, they're going to be volunteering at the LA Food Bank, and the Veterans Club portion or segment of our orientation today will talk about that a little bit more later. Sorry, Rozzy, you're up. There you go.
So this is your Veterans Resource Center. Services and programs that we have. It's a one-stop shop service provided by dedicated staff and student veterans and peers. And we have academic counseling whenever you need to do an ed plan, petitions, transfer planning, and also career planning. We have a VRC disability specialist, which you already met, Sal, and any accommodations that you need for your classes or anything like that, he could help you out with that. You have the VA educational benefits certification, which is me and Mark, covering all the chapters. And like I said, next, coming October, I'll be taking over all of the certifications. So if you have any questions, you could always contact me. Next slide, please. And other programs and services that we have are course enrollment assistance, VA benefit enrollment assistance. That would be with your peer mentors. They could help you out, guide you through the system, kind of get you connected. Connections to local, state, and federal veteran services providers, which would be your VA, your CalTabs, CalVet, US Vets, Outside the Wire, Telecrew, Upward Bound, East LA Vet Center, Los Angeles Veterans Collaborative Network, Veteran Peer Access Network. A lot of outside programs that have connections with, and you always connect with. Connections to campus and services would be financial aid, DSPNS, EOPNS, serves, admissions, Spark, IT, admissions, and academic departments. And with that being said, we'll help you kind of guide you through any of those departments, any questions you have, and your needs. Services and programs we have are peer tutoring, which is math, English, science, basically mainly math is the demand, but whatever tutoring needs you have, we'll try to get you that help. Online workshops, such as this one. We have case management, academic housing, VRNE referrals. That would be SEO or outside sources that we could connect you with. Laptop and computer and calculator loan program. That would be through me. If you're in need of a laptop for the semester or a calculator, I could always help you out with that. And learning the system smart pass, which is pretty cool. For any of that, just contact me personally, and I can help you with that. External Veteran Services partnered at the VRCs. Veteran Peer Access Network, VPAN, with Rudy Andrade. He's really helpful. Connect you to anything you might need, such as housing, getting your license, or any referral. Really good. JVS as well is with Rudy for any of your job needs. US Vets Outside the Wire for any wellness counseling, and they will present later on, so you can get a little bit more info on them. LA County Office of Military and Veteran Affairs, Raimundo helps you with any claims and any of your needs. Chapter 1. Okay, so like you can see, this is our phone number, our email, And if you ever want a live chat, just go to our website. Our hours for the fall is Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And then Fridays, it is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And VRC is still hybrid, but slowly it's transitioning. So hope you guys contact us for any needs.
Okay. Thank you, Razi. Okay, next up we have Ruben Roque joining us to talk about Project Serves.
Hey, Jess and the team. Hey, everybody. My name is Ruben. I am the Project Serves coordinator. Before I go into my little segment of trying to bring you STEM students and STEM veterans into my program, let me just quickly tell you a little bit about myself. First and foremost, Army veteran. Did the whole Uncle Sam tours of duty everywhere. Came back, utilized my GI Bill and VA benefits. And one of the most important things and closest things to my heart, I am an ELAC alum. I graduated with the help of the Veterans Program at East. And here I am. So started off at ELAC, transferred to Cal State LA, graduated from Cal State LA, went to graduate school. And now I am not just a program coordinator for the SERVS project at East, but I'm also an adjunct instructor in psychology. So if you need a psych class and you want a challenge, email me. More specifically though, if you are a STEM major and you're a veteran, I think you would definitely want to email me. So let's get into SERVS. So SERVS is success, engagement, and retention of veterans in engineering and science. So what does that mean? In a nutshell, research has shown that being a STEM major and a veteran, a student veteran, it's a difficult road and it's a difficult path to navigate and to get through. It's a long, arduous journey. There's a lot of challenges. So some of the things that we do with SERVS, we try to mitigate some of those challenges and factors by offering a whole host of different services and support. Next slide, please. So SERVS aims to develop, implement, and evaluate a comprehensive program to increase engagement, retention, success, which is defined as successful course completion and transfer. The goal is to transfer in a short amount of time of veterans pursuing STEM degrees. This program is specific to you, the veteran. Not too many programs out there are like that. Many programs encompass both the veteran and family members, but this is a very specific program just for the student veteran. Also, this is the only program of its kind in the state. And I believe we're one of a small, very small handful of programs similar throughout the country. So we're the only ones. So what serves this comprehensive program will include development, implementation, programming, and will generate new knowledge about the effects of student engagement practices using theoretical framework, blah, blah, blah. What does that translate to? So some of the engagement practices that we use and implement, we are partnered with Jessica and the VRC team. So as a student veteran, you're able to utilize both Jessica as your veterans counselor, along with our STEM counselors. And so one of the beautiful parts about that is you get the best of both worlds. You have the veterans counselor that can help you navigate and make sure that you're using the appropriate VA education benefits that you're entitled to. And at the same time, working with our STEM counselors in Mesa and with the SERVS program to help you really efficiently navigate through that system, through all those challenges, and making sure you're enrolled in the appropriate class, making sure that you have completed the prereqs, making sure that you are taking the classes that are needed to transfer to universities. Next slide, please. So one of the best parts about our SERVS program is we are partnered with UCLA, and UCLA's engineering department and their undergrad department. Very close relationship with them. One of the big perks that we have with SERVS is the fact that we have an internship, a paid internship that's available with UCLA. Normally that happens during the summer, but right now we're in the works. We're in the middle of planning out internships that could happen both in the winter session and with the summer, and those are also paid. stipend internships. So with the SERVS program, it's a cohort model. You're going to be working with other veterans at the same time, and theoretically, you will be moving forward together with those classes. So you're also going to have specific STEM classes that are only just for STEM Mesa students. So what does that translate to? You don't have to worry about a packed class, number one. And also, more importantly, you don't have to worry about begging and pleading for a slot to get into the class, because you will have one as one of our students. We're partnered with the Mesa program at ELAC. So you're available, or you also have book and material loans. We have our own mentoring and tutoring on top of what is offered with the Mesa program as well. So you have a bevy of mentoring, tutoring, SIs that are available. You can use both the VRC counselors and our STEM counselors. During the short semesters, like your summer and your winter, we have enrichment classes. And with those enrichment classes, that's just kind of like a little booster, little prep class to help you get ready for the upcoming semester. And those are specifically for math. The nice part about those preparation and enrichment classes, they're paid as long as you successfully navigate and successfully pass them. You will get paid for that. And again, you also have the eligibility for UCLA engineering research internships that are also paid. You also, with Mesa and with SERVS, eligibility for a lot of internship opportunities and scholarships that could actually help you both immediately and further down the line in your education. Next slide, please. So Mesa helps with your engineering, math, and science classes. So Mesa Math, Engineering, Science Achievement Program. You may have seen that in high school, but we also have a collegiate component here at ELAC. So with the Mesa Center, we're at building E7 on the second floor, and that's where also I'm located at too. And we have a very close partnership with them and the VRC. So one day, if you're talking with Jessica and the team at the VRC and you have really specific STEM questions, just hop on over when you're on campus safely, or you could just go ahead and email me or contact the Mesa program as well. Now, but with the Mesa program, they also have workshops, smaller classes, peer mentoring as well, and also other workshops that are more specific to the different types of Mesa related scholarships and programs. Next slide. So to be eligible in SERVS, you have to be a STEM major and you have to be the veteran. So full-time student enrollment, minimum of a 2.0 GPA, and you have to be in good standing with the college. The math component, that's pretty much the big one. We accept, you're able to come into the program as long as you are accepted into Math 125 or have completed 125. And again, you have to be in good standing with the college. Next slide. If you got any more really specific questions, go ahead and send me an email at roquere@elac.edu. And again, my name is Ruben. I am your SERVS program coordinator for student vets, and again, psychology instructor. So if you need a class or you have questions on psychology, go ahead and send me an email as well. And that's all I've got.
Thank you, Ruben. I do want to add a disclaimer. Ruben will not do your homework for you, though, psychology homework. So
No, and I don't give extra credit.
So thanks, Ruben. The STEM program that caters to our veterans, the SERVS program, it is an excellent program. If you are a STEM major, if you're thinking about becoming a STEM major, talk to Ruben, reach out to him. It's not very often where an internship for a school as an undergrad is paid, for one thing, and tied to UCLA. So that's pretty awesome. So definitely reach out to Ruben for that connection if it matches your needs. Okay, next up we have the ELAC Veterans Club. So I know Richard and Cindy are both here. They just joined us. So Richard and Cindy, can you please introduce yourselves, both of you, before you present as well? Thank you. You're on.
Yep. Hi, everybody. I'm Richard So. I am a veteran. I Finished my contract in 2020. I was in the U.S. Navy, and I started ELAC right after. While I was going to ELAC, I heard about the East Los Angeles or ELAC Veterans Club, and I decided to recharter it. Yeah, and that's me. So Cindy, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Cindy Thai, and right now I am a vice president of the ELAC Veteran Club. And I came to East LA before I joined. I go to survey. I went to survey, and then after I finish the survey, I come back because ELAC is a great place for a great resource for us to study as well as a great professor. So that's why I decided to come back. And yeah, so and because of the East LA College, it's the foundation that can make me get accepted to USC right now. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yep. So our East ELAC Veterans Club, I'm the president. Cindy Tai is the vice president, and our club advisor is Ms. Jessica Peak and Mike Garcia. The mission of the Veterans Club is to bring together our veterans and our non veteran students to build camaraderie, to like build networks, just to like socialize outside of the classroom environment, to bolster like the college experience, to make everybody feel more welcome to ELAC. Yeah. Next slide, please. So some of the requirements to join our club, you have to be enrolled, or sorry, to be eligible for club board positions. You have to be a full-time student, have a GPA of 2.0 or higher, and be a ASU membership, or be a ASU member. If you don't meet the requirements, you could still be a general member as long as you are a paid ASU member. And some of the things that the club or our club can do are listed on the slide. Some of the stuff that we have been doing is like hikes. We've been going to community events. We haven't been doing as much because of the COVID situation, but luckily this semester everybody's coming back in person, so we're hoping to do a lot more events. Our participation isn't as great because we don't have that many members at the moment, so we're looking to invite a lot more people, and also have people to take over, because some of our members are leaving or transferring out or finishing college. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Any questions? Oh yeah, Cindy.
So I go back to ASU member a little bit. So the benefit of joining to pay the ASU member, you get a lot of benefit from that. Like every semester they substitute the giveaway, which is more than what you pay right now for the membership. And they also like help, like you use some of the what's called, like you have the tag or something like that. So it's more benefit from the ASU member. And we also have the event that's going on. We plan to warranty, not plan. If we have the warranties going on with the East Los Angeles Food Bank, which is on the December 11 at 9 to 12. And we welcome to all the member and the staff to join us as most people as possible to support our community. I think that's it for me.
Thank you, Cindy and Richard. Can you please leave your contact information in the chat room or the chat? That way you can be contacted if anyone is interested in joining. It is a great opportunity for you to build that resume for transfer, to show that you are involved, to show that you are continuing that service mindset, now giving back to the community or just being a part of the community. So definitely, I highly recommend that you do join. As Richard mentioned, we do need members, we do need leaders. Our two leads, Cindy and Richard, as I mentioned earlier, well, Cindy's at USC now, Richard will be at SC in spring. So they need new leadership in place. So if you're interested, reach out and you can have a lot of support. You won't be leading on your own. So, okay. Thanks so much, guys. Okay, next we have US Vets Outside the Wire to talk about our wellness counseling component at the VRC. Julie.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Jessica, and the whole ELAC VRC team. I'm excited to be able to present our program. A little bit later, when I'm done explaining, I'm going to introduce the ELAC wellness counselor, Sean Kelly. But to get going, I just wanted to give a bit of an introduction to US Vets Outside the Wire. So US Vets, you might have heard of it, but if not, we're the largest nonprofit serving veterans in the United States. So we have a lot of different programs in a lot of different locations, but we have one mission, and that is to serve those who have served. So service for you all is what we're about. And specifically the Outside the Wire program is been created to help student veterans. So that's why we've partnered with ELAC and in fact, different community colleges around LA and Orange County to serve and help student veterans. So next slide, please. So US Vets has programs ranging from residential, we have a career development program, we have a program specifically for female veterans, a lot of case management, but Outside the Wire was created to go on college campuses, or now virtually, to fill in the cracks for student veterans who might need a little extra support. You know, I mean, I think Jessica talked about, some of you might have recently transitioned out of the service. We know for some people that can be a challenge, and it's easy to get overwhelmed, or maybe you're returning back to school. Maybe you're just stressed out about the remote learning and COVID. I mean, there's a lot going on right now, and we recognize that. So we really just want to be a help. And so what we offer is wellness counseling, amongst other things. And really, wellness counseling can be anything from just stressed out at school. Maybe you're having a hard time concentrating or being motivated. Maybe there's interpersonal stuff going on, relationships, communication, anger management. Maybe you're stressed out or feeling even anxious. Sometimes people are just feeling down and they just need a little extra support. And that's where we come in. So we offer free individual, couples, family wellness counseling. It's 100% confidential. We aren't connected to the VA. We're a separate program, but we do have referrals to the VA for certain programs, like and different possibilities like service connection. So even if you're not looking for wellness counseling, we can connect you to a lot of resources, and we're happy to do so. It's no obligation. You can start up. We can meet weekly, you can meet bi-monthly if that works better for your schedule, but there's no obligation if you reach your goals and you got what you needed. You know, we're just here to be flexible to meet your needs and really just any way we can help you. So my name is Julie Thornberry. I should have started with that. And I'm actually a licensed therapist and a supervisor for the program, but we work with a lot of different wellness counselors who have been trained specifically to work with the veteran population. And this semester, we have Sean Kelly. So he's going to be, if we go back on campus, he'll be back on campus. But for the time being, he is going to be offering wellness counseling in this format. He's also going to be looking to start a support group. So if there's anything you're wanting help with or any ideas, he's really open to, present any number of topics, remote learning stress, connecting to service connection, time management issues. I mean, he's going to be developing and launching that. I know that, I'm not sure if he's come up with a day and time, but I know that flyer and that information will be going out via email when he gets that going, or you can reach out to us. We'll provide the contact information on a later slide if you want to join in his group. So I'm going to actually give Sean the opportunity to introduce himself so you can get to know him a little bit better. So Sean, you want to jump in?
Yes, thank you, Julie. And hello, everybody. Hello, Eli. Hello, students. Again, my name is Sean Kelly. I'm a wellness counselor with US Vets Outside the Wire. As Julie did say, we are just kind of wellness for whatever you are facing. I mean, lots of challenges that we go through every day. So as Julie said, we're here to serve you. So whether you're facing stress from school, work, relationship, or just whatever challenge you might be facing, I am here to support you. And just so we're on the same page, our sessions are confidential. So that means we will not talk about anybody else. Where VA does not need to be kind of involved in it. Sessions are free. It's just here to help you. As Julie also did say, there will be a veteran support group soon. Basically, we're just working on a few more details, but information on the support group will be going out very soon. And again, just whatever challenges you are facing, just remember that you do not need to go through it alone. You've already served, let us serve you. And that's pretty much it. I look forward to really meeting all of you very soon. And yes, I will be putting my contact information. It was on the chat here, also on the previous slide. But if unable to see that, it is still on the ELAC Veterans Resource Center website. Just find there. You can also schedule appointments and message whatever you need to do. We are here to support you. And with that, I will not take up any more time. We'll keep the ball moving.
All right, thank you, Sean. And if you go to the next slide, I actually put up the contact information for myself and Sean. So you can
already on it.
Yeah. So you can email us, you can call us, you can text us. Really, any questions, any way we can help, or even if you want a referral, if you need help with case management, if you want career development. I mean, I know you get a lot of support already here at ELAC at the VRC, but any way we can help, any questions you have, please reach out. Note this information because you may not need it now, maybe in a month or two, you'll kind of realize you could use some help. And if that happens, you can easily find out information or ask any of the VRC staff and they can direct you our way too. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Julie and Sean. Outside the Wire has been a great component of our entire VRC operation for a couple years now, 2, maybe 3 years. We go back now. Yeah. And so I'm really pleased that we've had them to help us with our students because it's okay to not feel okay. It really is. And you may hear, just like I mentioned, some success stories of our students. It is not always that easy. There are challenges, and each of our staff members can tell you just that. It's okay to step away sometimes and to address, what may be going on, with life. And instead of doing that alone, we have the help, we have the support. And I feel like there's so many times where you may not feel that you need anybody to talk to, because what good will it do? I've heard that before. But the thing is that when you meet with Sean, when you meet with Julie, you will hear strategies, techniques on not how everything's going to be solved, but how you can learn to manage and balance. And so that's what's so important. That's the benefit of reaching out to a program such as US Vets. And fortunately, Outside the Wire is with the VRC. and part of our one-stop shop services. So you don't have to look any further than your VRC to find that ear to listen, and not just to listen, but to provide you with that guidance and how to balance school, life, family, everything. So please don't hesitate to reach out to Outside the Wire and to Sean. Sean, looking forward to a really great semester and year ahead of you supporting our vets, because you're right, we're here to serve those who served. So, and continue serving too. So,
Thank you, Jessica. That was awesome. That was great.
all right. Okay, so next up we have policies and procedures. So this is going to be a little dry, not so fun to listen to. It's really just kind of like the academic counseling portion of, of your, I guess, responsibility as a student, and to know while you're here at ELAC to make sure that you are keeping up with the work, keeping up with the scheduling, and moving forward with your pathway. So I'm going to go ahead and present on policies and procedures, but I did mention previously that Michael Garcia and Thomas Ortiz are both going to be supporting you through your journey as well. So they are our peer counseling specialists. And Mike he's just joined us. Well, he joined us sometime back, but he's going to go ahead and introduce himself first before I move forward with talking about the policies and procedures that, that we will support you with. So Mike.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Mike Garcia. I'm an ELAC graduate. I graduated from Cal State LA, and currently I'm in a graduate program at the University of Texas at San Antonio. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. So as Ms. Peak said, I am the peer counseling specialist. So my job is just to make sure you as a student have the support and resources that you need in order for you to be successful in higher education. I'm also here to promote and facilitate student engagements, such as, within your academics, wellness, as well as building that camaraderie that we used to have while we were in person at ELAC and also while we were in the military. Along with that, I also do run these social media accounts. So please go ahead and, give us a follow. We're always giving up updates on what the VRC is up to, along with different resources on and off campus. So I'm just here with any questions. I'll go ahead and drop down my contact information. So at any time, if you ever just need to figure out, I'm just not too sure what to do with my classes. And also remember, I'm not an academic advisor, but I can go ahead and try to help you with any type of resource that I can.
Awesome. That was awesome, Mike. Thank you. Great introduction. So definitely, be on the lookout. You are going to get emails from Mike or from Thomas Ortiz. Don't ignore those emails and make sure you're checking your emails because we're here to help. We're here to answer those questions, to guide you. And if you don't have questions at the moment, just know that you can reach out to them. You can reach out to me for any of that support. So don't ever hesitate with that. All right, so during policies and procedures, we're going to cover the student veteran enrollment process, the veteran specific checklist, East Los Angeles College academic policies and the VA, the student ed plan, how do I request benefits, when should I request benefits, some tips for student veteran success, and ELAC resources. Let's get to it. Okay, now you all have been through the general student enrollment process for all students, and that would be your AOC. So your assessment, which is now called your placement, your orientation, which is the general orientation that I'm not covering today because you've already done that, and the counseling component. When you have the counseling component, you can meet that counseling component by meeting with either Sal Murillo or me. You can also meet it by meeting with the general counselor. The thing though is when you meet with the general counselor or someone outside of the VRC, and if you're using your VA education benefits, we're still going to have to approve of the ed plan because it needs to be approved by a VA trained faculty member, which would be either Sal or myself. Okay, so you've all applied to ELAC already. That's why you're here. Placement for English and math. students are pretty much automatically placed into English 101. There is no more remedial classes below English 101. So if that's where you started, that's where you're supposed to start, English 101, which saves you a lot of time because we used to actually have to take quite a few classes if you didn't score into 101. Math 125 or higher. Now Math 125, that is not transfer level. The higher level is. So some of you may have to take Math 125 before you get into a higher level. Some of you are placed directly into the higher level. If you want to know how you can place directly into the higher level, if you feel that you don't need intermediate algebra, talk to Sal or talk to me, and we can try to see if maybe you would be eligible to get into a higher level. Otherwise, most of our veterans, actually not most, but quite a few of our vets probably would want to just start with Math 125 first anyhow, because it's been a while since you've been in school. And so that actually is the course of choice with many of our students. The orientation, you should have done that one online. That's the general orientation I mentioned. And of course, with counseling, you'll get the abbreviated or a comprehensive student ed plan. Abbreviated would just mean like maybe one term was planned for you, but comprehensive would mean that it is the entire length of your program. So you should know with a comprehensive ed plan exactly which classes you need and when you will be ready to transfer or to graduate or both. Okay, so this is a veteran-specific checklist. So most of our vets, if they're using VA educational benefits, will apply for benefits. So you want to apply through e-benefits, you can apply through the VA website as well. But many of our students just go through e-benefits because you want to familiarize yourself with e-benefits anyway. It is basically, in case you don't know what it is essentially kind of like your portal, your veteran portal. So you have access to view health, access to view your education benefits, any other types of benefits offered through the VA. Everything is all in one place. So if you're not accessing e-benefits, you should definitely begin to access it. Apply for benefits. If you've already done that, then I recommend that you keep checking your e-benefits because it can also track when you have received your VA certification, how many months you've used up, how many months are still left. So I definitely recommend that you track yourself on e-benefits. If you don't know how to use it, it can be tricky to first try to get onto it. If you're not so sure about how to do it, please reach out to us. Any one of our peer mentors can help you out with that, as well as any one of our staff members. Okay, as a veteran, you're going to want to submit your DD-214. Typically, if you're going to be using your VA benefits, you have to do that anyway, submit it with your VA certification. But if you're not using benefits, we would need it anyway, because with that DD-214, you will get priority registration coding. So you'll be able to register ahead of everybody else when it comes to enrollment terms. That's a huge benefit because if you are trying to use your benefits to maximize them, you don't want to waste them. If you wait until the last minute to register for classes, chances are you're not getting your first pick in classes. Those classes will fill up. And so when you have priority registration, you get your classes in advance before they're open to everyone else, and you're sure to get the classes that you need that will match your ed plan. That way you're on track to completing your goals in a timely manner instead of having to wait a few more semesters because you delayed with registration and basically didn't end up taking the classes that you needed. So health and PE credit and elective units are given to you for your military experience, and we can get that information from your 214. And of course, if it's your first time using VA educational benefits, we will request it because it is part of your VA file and must be included. I do recommend that you request all your official transcripts early. If you're using VA educational benefits, you have to submit those by the second semester. Otherwise, we can't certify you past that. That is a VA policy. It's not our policy. We're just adhering to it. If you request them right away, they'll be in our system. You don't have to worry about it. If you're going to meet with either Sal or me, you can always have a copy of your unofficial transcripts and we can evaluate those. And that works for us, for your counseling and DSPNS team. But as far as any formal type of transcript, it has to be official and you have to request those be sent from your previous campus directly to ELAC's admissions office. Steps on how to do that can be found on the admissions website under how to order transcripts. Okay, so I'm not going to go over any of these educational benefits offered through the VA. I know that later on, Mark might tap into it just a bit, but I do want to point out that these are all the different programs that we do support here at ELAC through our VA certification office. So if you go all the way down in red, I want to point out that there is something called the VA Work Study Program. It's different from the financial aid federal work study program. With the VA Work Study, if you're enrolled in at least 9 units, you could be eligible for this program. Essentially, we offer VA Work Study at the VRC, for example. To work at the VRC, you need a 3.0 or higher. You want to have, at least a semester in so that you're able to guide other veterans through their transition as well, transition to ELAC, that is. But the cool thing about VA Work Study is that you can work up to 25 hours per week. It's not, it's not tax, what am I trying to say? You don't get taxed, there you go. You don't get taxed on this benefit because it's considered a benefit. And so it's pretty cool because you'll get minimum wage, but yet you're not taxed on any of it. So you get the whole minimum wage that you've earned. So that's what's pretty cool. Whereas, with like getting a regular job, of course, you're going to be taxed every single time. So VA Work Study Program is a great program to look into. We offer it, but even if you're an ELAC student, if we don't have any VA Work Study opportunities, we do have outside agencies like the East LA Vet Center and other locations where they offer VA Work Study, and you can work with them as well while being an ELAC student. Okay, so I discussed this already, tracking your VA benefits. Oh, look, this is how important it is. It actually has its own slide in my presentation. I can't tell you enough how important e-benefits is. So again, if you're not quite sure how to use it, reach out to us. We'll guide you through the process and take you through the steps. But it's pretty cool because like I mentioned, it'll tell you your enrollment status as well, like where you are attending school, where you're getting certified to use your benefits, your payment status. If you're wondering if you've gotten paid yet or not, or where that payment is, you can check e-benefits to track eligibility levels. So when you apply, let's say you lose your certificate of eligibility, you can always go back to e-benefits just to check on what that eligibility was. Features, you can transfer your education benefits for post 9/11 GI Bill, view your payment history, view your enrollment status, and request military forms. Sometimes you cannot request the DD-214 that easily. Sometimes there's other obstacles to it. So if you're having trouble getting a copy of your DD-214, reach out to us and we will connect you with either our Veteran Peer Access Network, which is a county program, or the LA County Office of Military and Veterans Affairs. Our veteran service officer we work with, Raimundo Borjon, can help you locate a copy of your DD-214. Sometimes it's not that easy to just go into e-benefits. So if you need the help, let us know. Okay, so a few things that you may have heard through your general orientation are outlined in here. But what I'm doing in this slide is I'm going to see or show you rather how these policies affect your use of VA educational benefits and your eligibility to use them. So academic probation, when you're on probation, you have basically less than 2.0 GPA. And the first time you get on academic probation, that first term, it's like a warning. So the school will give you that chance to get yourself back up to 2.0 or higher and be in good standing, which is where you want to be. But let's say that you now have 2 semesters where you're still in academic probation. Well, that's when you're going to lose your priority registration. When you lose your priority registration, that's big, because then you lose your first pick in classes, which affects the classes that you need on your ed plan to get certified to use your GI Bill. So we want to make sure that you are in good standing. Progress probation. Let's say that you might have a 4.0, but half of the classes that you've taken, or more than half of the classes you've taken, are actually W's. So that actually can place you onto progress probation. So if you are on progress probation, then you will also lose your priority registration. If you have more than 100 cumulative units at ELAC within LACCD, we don't count outside transcripts just yet. Our system's not that sophisticated just yet. So if within LACCD you have more than 100 units, you also will lose your priority registration. And of course, your progress probation, academic probation, those can all lead to academic dismissal. So when you face academic dismissal, we have to red flag you with the VA. And at that point, the VA will follow you knowing that you've lost your benefits. And you're going to have to somehow work with the VA, work with the campus to get yourself back on track to be in good standing once again. Even if you have academic dismissal with ELAC, if we have to flag you, then let's say you decide I'm going to go to PCC, PCC will see in our VA1 system that you actually face dismissal. So that will follow you. So you want to stay clear of getting into any of these pitfalls, because just avoid it. We do follow our catalog policies because of course we have to, but the VA also will follow our ELAC policies. So if our catalog says that you could take the class, maybe you've attempted to take it a few times, but let's say you can still take it a third time, then you can get certified for that class if you need it. So we do, the VA does follow our catalog. Now, just a little bit on this slide before I go to the next one. This is exactly why we have our peer counseling specialists on board working with you. We want to prevent you from getting to any of these circumstances. And so our peer counseling specialists, Mike and Thomas, will be there for you to make sure that you avoid getting into these circumstances. So the prevention techniques. And if you fall into these circumstances, we want to make sure that we provide that intervention to make sure that you get out of it and you're back in good standing. That's our goal, to make sure you're in good standing and you are finishing your educational goals at ELAC and moving on. So, okay, so let's talk about the student ed plan. The student ed plan, as I mentioned, can be created by Sal or it can be created by me. Having it created by Sal or me is a bonus because we are pretty much trained to follow VA guidelines. And your ed plan will do just that. So if you're using VA educational benefits, getting it done by us, we're following all of the policies that you need to follow to use benefits, and there won't be overpayments on your end nor on our end either. So the student ed plan essentially is a contract. It's a contract between us, you, and the VA. It's telling the VA that all the classes that are in this ed plan are classes that you need to complete your goal. Those are the only classes that they will pay for. Classes that you need, not classes you want to take, not classes that a professor suggested that you take or highly recommends that you take. Even if it's in the catalog, if it says highly recommended, if it's not required, it's not going to be covered. So that's why we want to make sure that only what you need is on the plan. That's our mentality that we follow because that's the VA guideline. So, so let's see. A long-term comprehensive ed plan will include all coursework to be taken by the student. That's what you eventually want, because you definitely want to know when will you be done. That comprehensive ed plan will tell you that. I already talked about the VA will only cover coursework leading to the completion of a degree, certificate, or transfer. Something you have to know too is that with a educational plan for VA benefits, a major must be declared. But do know that there is no policy stating how many times a major can be declared. So if you change your major, it's okay. If you change it once, it's fine. If you change it 10 times, which might happen, we don't really see that much, but it might happen, it's totally okay. So there are no limits to the number of times you can change a major. So oftentimes, if you are undecided, what we'll do is we'll stick with general education classes and help you discover that major. But it's okay if we change it, if we need to, later down the road. The VA will not cover health, PE, personal development courses like a Counseling 1, Intro to College course, or any coursework outside of the intended educational goal. You will meet with the Veterans Counselor or VRC Disability Specialist at least once a semester or once every 2 semesters. I will warn you that changes in transfer do occur frequently. So if you don't stay in contact with us, you won't be in touch with any of those changes. And the last thing and worst thing you ever want is to get to that final semester that shows on your ed plan that you created 2 years ago, and you're ready to graduate, and it turns out you actually have more to do because there were some changes in transfer policies. So make sure you stay in contact with us. Also, if you're using VA educational benefits, you can't submit a VA certification if your ed plan is more than a year old. So you have to stay updated with us. So make sure you check in with us at least once a semester to update your ed plan. You may continue to use the same SEP, sorry, that refers to student educational plan, if the counselor approved courses are listed within the SEP. So essentially, just know, and this has come up quite a bit recently from new students, but on your ed plan, let's say you want to take classes for the fall 21, and you've got the classes from within your ed plan, but the classes are not specifically listed under fall 2021 in your ed plan. That's okay. If the classes are somewhere on your ed plan and you created this ed plan within the last year, you're okay to request VA educational benefits and use that ed plan without having to meet with Sal or me immediately. I do recommend that you revise and update your ed plan for sure, but do know that as long as the classes that you're taking are somewhere on your ed plan, you can use it. So it does not have to be specifically for that term in your ed plan that you're trying to use benefits. So I know it's a little confusing, but just know that I think the main theme here is if it's on your ed plan, you're approved to take the course, and just go ahead and register and take it. Okay, so when Sal and I create your ed plans, what we do is we have to consider your enrollment eligibility for your BAH. So for the fall and spring semesters, you're looking at having to have 12 units minimum for that semester. These classes all have to have the same start and end date. And then for summer and winter, you need 4 units to be full-time at 100% BAH for the 5-week courses. So these are 5-week terms. And then for a 7-week term, you need to have at least 5 units. So that's how that works. So this is why it's so important, again, to meet with Sal or me, because we have to follow these, I guess, these eligibility criteria to make sure you're getting the BAH that you're looking to receive, whether it's 75%, 100%, 50%. Even if you're not using it at all, we still have the resources for you as a veteran to be able to connect with Veterans Resource Centers, like at other universities, and so make sure you just continue working with us. Now for part-time benefit enrollment eligibility for fall and spring semesters, those are 16 weeks. You need to have a minimum of 6 units, but with that, you actually will only get a book stipend. So your BAH will start at 7 units of enrollment. Summer and winter, if you have 3 units, that's going to be 75% of your BAH. 4 units for a 7-week course is your 75% as well. So because this is just a lot to remember, again, meet with Sal or me, and even with our peer counseling specialists, they can help you figure out, like, the units and how much of a percentage that will be for the term that you're trying to enroll into. So when should I request certification of VA educational benefits at ELAC? Well, as soon as you register for courses. That's always, the recommended time to request your VA benefits. So for an example, fall semester starts, priority registration for winter session begins in October. So this October is when our students will be able to register for your winter classes that far in advance. So let's say that you get your classes for the winter in October, then at that point, you're going to be able to fill out your VA certification. That allows enough time for our SEO to put you in the system, and then for the VA to process you into their system. So what that means is no late payments. You'll be on time with getting your BAH once the winter starts, and also receiving your book stipend. So that's the huge benefit. If you really could request your benefits at any time, so you could wait, a whole week before the winter starts, for example, you could wait for that. But what'll happen is you're going to delay yourself with getting your benefits. And so that's what you want to avoid, obviously. Nobody wants to be late with, your payments, late with your rent. And so if you do your part in registering early during priority registration and submitting your VA certification early enough, you will see your payments come in on time. Retro payments can be requested for up to a year. So even if you decide, I'm not going to use my GI Bill this semester or while I'm at ELAC, no problem. You don't have to. But let's say that you run into some financial hardship and that benefit is there. You actually can request to use it up to a year back. So if up to a year back, you were taking classes that you needed to get to your educational goal, we can certify you and you can receive a retro payment for that. So avoiding VA overpayments. Essentially, every time that you make a change to your schedule, let your SEO know. Okay, let your school certified official know. Come October, that would be Rosie. So you want to let Rosie know, and come October, if you make any changes to your schedule, whether it's an add, a drop, a W. If you don't report a W after the course has started, it can result in an overpayment on your end, and then you'll have to pay the VA back. So if you're going to get paid for a course that you're not enrolled in because it's not reported, that's going to be a pretty big sum of an overpayment. We've seen it before, and we don't like to see it. And that's why we want to implement, that's why we do implement the prevention and intervention techniques on, for you as part of our service. Pass your courses with a C or better. A 0.0 GPA for the semester will result in an overpayment as well. And of course, see the veterans counselor, VRC disability specialist, or your peer counseling specialist if you're struggling in your courses. Okay. So just a few tips. Actually, it's a lot of tips. Not just a few. It's a lot, I'll be honest. But you know what? You will definitely want to know these tips, because if you hear them now, I think you'll apply it later. And if you forget what you hear now, you're going to remember later. And I mean, either way is good for you. So seek out and use available resources, whether it's everything we have at the VRC or every program we offer to veterans at ELAC, or even every non-veteran related program on campus. Use those resources. Check your LACCD student email account daily. Do that because we send emails out, and far too frequently our students don't check their emails. If you don't check it, you're missing out on important information, not just from us, but from the district, from the campus, because the district and ELAC only send emails out to your student email account. Financial aid only sends emails out to your student email account. So make sure you're checking that daily. And if you email us or any of your professors or any other department on campus, include your student ID number. So that is very important to keep in mind as well. It's easier for us to help you faster if you include that information, that way we don't have to go searching, and then next thing you know, we search up your name, like 30 names come up of students with the same name at ELAC. So make sure that you include your student ID number so we can be more efficient in how we serve you. Meet with your professors during office hours. Inform your professors ahead of time of any military orders, training, or VA appointments that may interfere with class participation or exams. Be prepared to provide documentation. We know how often the VA may schedule you for an appointment, and you don't have a choice as to the day or time that it's given to you. You just have to take it because it's the first available. But let's say it happens to be on a day that you really can't miss class either. What are you going to do? You know, it's like, oh, which way do I go? Well, if you relay that information to your professor ahead of time, perhaps there's a way to work that out so that you can attend the appointment and make up the work for that day. So keep that communication with your instructors. If you're facing housing or food insecurities, the VRC can connect you with resources. Just ask. Apply for FAFSA and scholarships. I hope you've applied for FAFSA already. If you haven't, get to it today. If you go onto our VRC website, we should have some links on there. If we don't, just go to the ELAC's financial aid website, and you will see links to applying for FAFSA there. And of course, stay connected with the VRC. We're at veterans.elac.edu. More tips. Okay, evaluate your use of VA educational benefits. You've earned your benefits, but it's also an investment. Should you use benefits at a community college or save them for after transfer or perhaps grad school? These are all different questions you need to ask yourself, because you don't have to start using your benefits and then once you start, keep using them. You can stop using benefits too. So let's say you use your GI Bill for one semester. You don't have to keep using it once you've started. You can stop and you can decide to save it for later. So think about, community college. We have the California College Promise, which will pay for your tuition. And then you have financial aid. So you have to ask yourself, do I really need to use the GI Bill right now? Or can I save it for later? An example for grad school is when you get to grad school, there are no more grants, free money from financial aid any longer. It's all loans. So should you save your benefits for grad school then? If you're planning to get your master's degree or your doctorate or medical school. So you need to make sure that you are really planning out your use of your benefits and see them as an investment, okay? Seek out the VRCs at the four-year universities to inquire about academic programs and admissions. We have all of those point of contacts. Reach out to us and we'll give those to you. Okay, if you have separated from service within the last year, file your VA claims now. So preferably, that filing should be done within the first year of discharge. If you are on your third year or your 10th year post-discharge, it doesn't mean you shouldn't file your VA claims. Still file them, but do know that the longer you wait to file a VA claim, the more likely that the VA will connect your disabilities to your lifestyle as opposed to service. So the sooner you file your VA claims, then the easier it is to connect your disability claim to your service. So keep that in mind. The sooner you knock that out, the better. Research voc rehab. Oh, I'm sorry. It's now called Veteran Readiness and Employment, which is Chapter 31. It's just easier to say. So research Chapter 31 and Department of Rehabilitation programs and their application process. Planning is a must because these two programs take months of planning and, at like the application process, from the application period up until like when you get accepted, it does take some time. So lots of planning is involved there. And meet other student veterans to build a peer network. Now, if you're not sure of any of these and you're kind of wondering what is that, and you want more information, reach out and ask us. I will share the slide afterwards And so you'll get a copy of this slide. And, you know, whatever questions you have, you can always reach out and ask us. Okay. And additional ELAC resources, we have the Health Center, which you are more than welcome to use, the Career and Job Services Center, financial aid. We have financial wellness and coaching at ELAC. We have a learning center and math lab. These are both tutoring centers. We also have VRC peer mentors and tutors. And just so you know, there is a VA tutoring stipend connected with your GI Bill. So if you are using your GI Bill or Chapter 31, or even for dependents, there you can use individualized tutorial assistance where you pay your tutor out of pocket $100 a month, and then you bill the VA and the VA will reimburse you for a private tutor. So do you know that that's out there? You can ask Sal, me, or any one of us from the VRC about this benefit that you have. Again, I'm Jessica Peak. I'm your VRC director and your veterans counselor. You can reach me directly through my email. That's probably the most effective way to reach me. I may not respond right away, but I will get back to you, I promise. And of course, you can link to any one of our staff members and team through our website. So. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pass on the floor to Sal Murillo. Sal is going to be talking about DSPNS and EOPNS. If I might suggest, you might want to like take a, stand up and stretch a little bit, because I know that we definitely are talking a lot about a lot of stuff. So while you're listening to Sal, go ahead and, stretch, do what you need to do. But we are going to keep going so we can finish at 12.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much. Very interesting information and resources that you presented. I appreciate that. So everyone, again, my name is Sal. I'm the disability specialist, and I'm the bridge from the DSPNS to the Veterans Resource Center. DSPNS, as you can see, it's the Diverse Ability Support Program and Services. Like I said, I've been disability specialist since 2018. Next slide, please. So the DSPNS, these are some of the services that the DSPNS offers. Well, because of COVID, there's some changes right now, so we're barely coming back, kind of like slowly coming back, like Rosie had mentioned before, into in person. But once we're actually there, we have, once you're part of the program, before that, you have to fill out an intake form. You have to actually present with, the appropriate documentations of your disability, whether it's medical, psychological, or any other type of disability. When that is, you're going to be part of the program, and then you get to have all these services that you could use. You're going to be able to use a high-tech center lab. You have testing accommodations. It depends on the disability and whatever the disability specialist actually grades you in terms of the disability. You could get from either 50% to 100% of extra time on your test. For example, if it's an hour, if it's 50%, it's going to be an hour and a half that you're going to get. 100% it would be, instead of getting 1 hour, it's going to be 2 hours of test time that that's pretty good. As well as priority registration, just like VRC, you have access to that. And the thing is that we're on the same level as DSPNS is the same level of priority registration, same dates as VRC as well. So you have also enrollment assistant, illness notification. We also have sign language interpreters, but all of that, all this accommodations, you have to actually request them every time, every semester you have to do that. There's a learning assessment, disability assessment counseling. We have specialist academic, vocational, and personal counseling as well at DSPNS. But of course, now you can you have the same thing here at the VRC, which is great. One of the things that's great about it is a lot of the veterans, they don't, because of the stigma, they don't want to actually go to the DSPNS. So the great thing is now you don't have to go. Everything could be done here at the VRC, okay? So academic adjustments, adaptive equipment, alternative media, all those. We have calculated loaners. Not only that, digital tape recorders, and we have Echo Smart Pens, not only at DSPNS, but also we have this at the VRC. Okay, but all the services you have to actually kind of request them every at least a week or two before each term. Okay, next slide, please. So bridging military connect the student to DSPNS. So the VRC special. VRC disability special, which is me, Sal. I will actually enroll the students in DSPNS from the VRC itself. And again, you don't have to actually go to the DSPNS. We have it there at the VRC. I will validate the documentation, recommend appropriate accommodations. For example, like I mentioned, whether it's 50% or 100%. We'll do academic and vocational counseling, educational planning, as Jessica, our director, mentioned. Counseling and advising. We have alternate media for educational materials. Note taking assistant. Right now, we're not doing this or test proctoring because of COVID, but we are going to be doing that, in the near future as we actually progress to come back in person. So the accommodations are going to be based on the students' disability, as I mentioned before. Okay, so depends on your disability. That's how we're going to determine whether you're going to get 50% or 100% of extra time on your test. Next slide, please. So again, this is my information for VRC Disability Specialist. Just any questions or anytime you have, here's my email address, or you can contact Veteran Services at ELAC to make an appointment for anything. One of the things that I would suggest is before, let's say that you do want to be part of the DSPNS, just let us know in advance, because we have to send some forms, intake forms you can fill out, and along with that, you're gonna have to send the forms with the proper documentation so we can get you actually in DSPNS. So by the time we meet, I'm gonna review the paperwork and determine the accommodations at that time in order just to save time. So here's my information about that. I think the next slide is going to be about the EOPS, right? Next. Yeah, so EOPS, which stands for Extended Opportunity Programs and Services. This program is actually a state-funded program. And to start for students who they have to actually be full-time and qualify for financial aid. Next slide, please. So here you go. So you have to qualify, you have to be 18 years of age, high school graduate. Like I mentioned, have to have like 12 units or more submitted 2020-21. Right now, they're actually accepting applications as I was told, okay? So you have to be a California resident, a minimum 1 year and 1 day, and that's part of the requirements. Have less than 70-degree applicable units. Sometimes there could be like, sometimes if you're already, the counselors will actually review, depends on what the situation is, and sometimes they could still accept you, even though you might have a little bit over 70 units, okay? And here are some of personalized counseling, some of the services, personalized counseling, again, prior registration, peer advising. They have different workshops that, can help you with just about everything. They have textbook grants. I know that they, like each semester, except, those are the semester they're talking about, the long term. They give you like $350 of grants for, for books each of the long-term semesters. And also sometimes I've heard that sometimes if they have extra money, for example, not too long ago, they gave, I think, $500 to the students over the summer because they had extra money. So it's a great program that you get involved in. Transfer assistance, they have all that, just to cut it off because of time. Under the extended, I'm sorry, under the OPS, we have two different programs, which is the care program and the foster youth. The care program is a program for single parents who have kids under 16 years of age. And not only that, but they have to be receiving like public assistance. I'm sorry, here you go. Here's the slide. And just a little bit of it because of time. The foster youth now it's called, we could actually go to the next slide. We have, okay, KFI's next. This is foster youth, but it's called Next Up. This is, you can only be in the program up to the age of 25 years of age. And, these programs are actually also state funded programs, and they fit under the EOPS umbrella. Next slide, and I think that's the last one. And again, for more information and questions, feel free to reach us at number. Her name is actually Stephanie. This is number 323-680-4758, and you can see the rest of the information. And here's the Monday through Thursday from 8 to 7 p.m., Fridays from 8 to 4:30. And Stephanie, when you ask for her, she will actually guide you through the process. And that's about it.
Thanks so much, Sal. Thanks so much, Sal.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So just a little information also on DSPNS and EOPNS. Our veterans do take advantage of both of those programs.
Sure.
Do know that, yes, for EOPNS, you do have to be eligible for financial aid and for a certain income level, but keep in mind that your GI Bill and VA educational benefits is not considered income. So I strongly encourage you to apply for FAFSA. Don't think that, I'm getting the GI Bill, I'm not going to be eligible. That is not considered income. Another thing too is if you separated from service within the last 2 years, FAFSA will ask you for your taxes. But once you apply, you can also demonstrate to them with your DD-214 that you no longer receive that same income. So you would get an income adjustment. And so that would qualify you maybe, or make you eligible for EOPNS, as well as using your VA educational benefits, as well as using financial aid. You can use all of those at the same time, but you'll never know if you're eligible unless you apply. So make sure that you apply. Okay.
May I add something else, Jessica?
Sure. So,
yeah, for EOPS, like even though it says you have to be a full-time student, let's say that you're not using your benefits and you don't want to take the full amount, but you're part of DSPNS, then we could actually write a letter stating that you're part of DSPNS, and with that you could go as low as 6 units and still be part of EOPS, even though it's supposedly you have to be a full-time student. So just an extra tip on that.
thank you. Thanks, Sal.
Thank you.
Great information. Okay, next up, we have Mark Diaz, who will be covering how to certify for VA educational benefits. So Mark, you're up.
I'm up. Well, welcome everybody. If you joined late, just let you know, I'll introduce myself. My name is Mark Diaz. I'm one of the school certifying officials at East LA College. But after October 1st, Raziel Vela will be the primary certifying official here at East LA College. But I'm still going to go over how to certify for VA educational benefits. Looking at some of the names who are there, I believe you've already certified, you've submitted certification. So some of the stuff may be new to you, but there's other additional information that we do want to cover since it's being recorded for other students who are unable to make it. So with that said, by the way, okay, so yeah, prior service, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, prior service, Marine Corps, like I said, and just I'm glad to be, serving our fellow vets. Next slide, please, Ms. P. Thank you. So step one, I'm going to go really briefly. Most of you have already applied, but if you haven't applied, first thing you want to do, the Department of Veteran Affairs does have a really good step-by-step roadmap. How to apply. You can access it on the link right there, but it's also on our website, on the veterans.elac.edu website. You can go on there and we have the first step-by-step instructions on how to apply for VA educational benefits. I know it says it takes 45 days to approve and often takes longer, but what I've heard and then I've been able to see that it's now takes about 30 days, sometimes less. So, but you definitely want to apply. You want to collect all your, to get your benefits. You want to collect all your paperwork you need and apply for it online. Next slide, please. Also, you want to apply to ELAC, but most of you already applied. That's why you're here. But for those who haven't, maybe tell your friends, you want to tell them this is the first step. They want to apply online to ELAC. You want to request your transcripts. I know Ms. Speak mentioned that earlier. In order to get your comprehensive ed plan, you do want to have your transcripts on file so they can review them and give you whatever credit is you know from other campuses. Also, financial aid. Ms. Speak covered that earlier. She goes, it is highly recommended to apply for financial aid because it will not affect your VA educational benefits. You can go to the website, log on, fafsa.ed.gov. Another thing, on our website, the veterans.elac.edu website, we have a whole section on financial aid. We have videos, financial aid TV has videos, step-by-step videos on how to apply for financial aid, questions about financial aid. It's all on there. So take advantage of that resource. It is on there, and definitely apply for financial aid. When I'm certifying for students, I go to certify them and submit the tuition and fees to the VA. But I see many times, many of our vets have already applied for financial aid. They've got grants, they have fee waivers, and like I said, so we don't have to report that to the VA. But it's a great benefit. So definitely apply. It is encouraged. Also, so next step. Step 3, next slide, please, Speak. You want to request your official transcripts. So we can only certify you. We can certify you the first semester and sometimes the second semester without having your transcripts on file. But once we, after the second semester, you have to have your transcripts on file. And your certification request will not be processed unless you provide an updated student educational plan as proof of council official transcript evaluation. So one of the steps when we're certifying you, we look at your ed plan and there's notes usually on the bottom that will state that you submitted your transcripts. If you have not submitted your transcripts, then we will notify the counselor and notify you that we will not be able to certify you for that semester. So you want to make sure you get transcript requests, your transcripts in, if you have them. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. But the other thing, if you want to schedule an appointment with one of our counselors, you go to our Connects Ed page, that's on our website as well. And you can go ahead and request that. Also on our website, we do have the VRC staff that monitors that, the live chat. You can also reach out to them and they can go ahead and schedule an appointment to evaluate those transcripts and to meet with the counselor to get your ed plan implemented, okay, or created. Next slide, please. Okay, so you do want to turn in your documents. Now, depending on the chapter of benefits that you're using, whether it's chapter 30, chapter 33, chapter 35, dependents educational assistance, chapter 31, or selected reserve, you want to make sure you submit all your documents. Now, currently, we have implemented a new veterans request, a digital certification form where you can upload your documents through there and we will get notification that your documents have been uploaded. You can do it. That's the way we're accepting them now, but you can always do it the old fashioned way, which we used to do. And you can request, you can mail your documents to the email on file, then veteranservices@elac.edu. And so we're going to go over some of the documents that are required for each different GI Bill. Okay. So also when you submit your certificate of eligibility, the request for that on the VA website usually takes about 30 days after applying, but you can submit a copy of the actual application to the SEO, to the certifying official, and you can upload that copy so that we can go ahead and get you certified. So as long as we have a copy, know that we applied, we can go ahead and certify you. Next slide, please. Oh, and I'm sorry, the certification form is on our website. You go to our website, on the far left side, it'll say certification for request for certification for benefits. You go there, read, and then at the very bottom, you go ahead and submit the certification. It's a digital certification form. Okay, so now if you're certifying for VA educational benefits, very first time, I know many of you have, I can see already, I'm looking at the names on the participants, and you are a first-time applicant for benefits. So chapters 30, 33, 1606, and 1607. You need a copy of your DD-214 member 4 that is usually provided to you by the VA or by your unit when you discharge from service, active service. We need a copy of a certificate of eligibility. It's provided to the VA also when you apply for it online. You usually get that within 30 days, and we need a copy of that. We put it in your student file. We need a copy of your student educational plan. Now, we have access to view it, but we would like for you to go ahead and provide a copy so we can have it and we can put it on your file. But that is something that when the VA audits, they want to make sure that the courses that you've enrolled in, the courses you've been certified for, had been approved and were approved by one of our counselors. So we need that student educational plan on file. Your contract, we do have a student contract. It is it's part of the certification form at the very end that basically lets you know that you will notify us of any type of any drops, ads, changes to your ed plan, whatever it is that you need. We need that contract on file. And that is part of the certification form. So you just check it off, sign it. You can't submit the certification form without completing that. The other thing, the certification form, it is on our website and on the VRC Canvas portal. Currently, we're in the process of uploading all the new students for the summer fall to the new Canvas portal. So once you log into your student portal for your classes, you should see the VRC ELAC VRC course. And that is just an additional resource for you. We'll have a lot of, you'll get announcements. We have a lot of resources on there, more than it's on our website. We have everything. We have downloadable forms. We have stuff for some of our veteran partners, phone numbers, everything from, wellness, financial wellness, mental health, there's a lot of resources on there. So make sure you check that portal regularly and check those announcements that come through that you'll be getting. But the certification form is on there as well as on our website, the link to the form. Okay, next slide, please. So chapter 31, it was formerly vocational rehabilitation and employment. Now it's the veteran readiness and employment program. So if you are part of that program, you will need a copy of your DD-214. It was formerly called the Form 1905, but it's actually a purchase order that is submitted by your counselor, the veteran resource counselor. They submit it and we get a notification, and then that basically authorizes you to take classes and pay for your tuition, books, supplies, any additional resources that you need. But without that certification, without that authorization, that purchase order, we cannot certify you. So you make sure your counselor is on it and he sends us that form. We do need the educational plan as well. And in some cases, we also need what's called the audit, Chapter 31 audit form. Basically, it's something that one of our veteran counselors will fill out for you. And it basically gives an overall plan, how much the course is going to cost and how much the whole program is going to cost. And that's something you submit to your counselor. We don't need that though, but you may be required to complete that before we can certify you, before your counselor will submit the purchase order. We want the student contract as well, which is also provided on the certification form. And that certification form that you submit, it's still the same for all the chapters. So you'll submit it, you'll just indicate that you're in chapter 31, and you'll upload whatever documents we need, like the ed plan. You'll put in the email address of your VRNE counselor so we can notify them once we submit your certification. So next slide. It's chapter 35. So that's Dependents Educational Assistance Program for either children, dependents, or spouses of veterans who have been determined to be 100% disabled through the VA. That program as well. We do need a certificate of eligibility. I know it should say it on there. It's not on there, but we do need the certificate of eligibility. You do need to apply for that. And that's the same process. You go to the VA website for benefits, and there is a link specifically for Chapter 35. You need to submit that, input your sponsor's information, and then you will get a certificate of eligibility for Chapter 35 benefits. We need the ed plan as well. You still need to meet with the counselor to ensure that the courses you're taking have been approved by a counselor, and so that the VA will pay you your stipend. We need the student contract, and we need the VA certification form. Next chapter, or next slide. So all chapters after initial certification, we will need the ed plan. Well, that is all provided. I take that back. That will be uploaded when you submit your certification. So we can go ahead and skip this slide, Ms. Peak. Okay, also, if you are a student here at ELAC and you want to take a class at a different campus through whether it's LA Community College District, we have 9 campuses in the district, or you want to take a class at a different college. So let's say Santa Monica College, Rio Hondo, whatever the campus, you need to notify us and ask for it's called a parent school letter. Now, in order to get the parent school, this is for all the chapters, we will verify that the course that you are taking has been approved for a counselor, and it's been it's a course that's transferable at the other campus. So you can take, you can take that class at one of so let's say for LA Community College District, you want to take English 101, but they're all full here, or you want to take it at a different campus, it's a different time, or it's online, whatever it is, then we can actually, you take that class and you enroll in there. As long as it's on your ed plan, we can authorize that. And we'll send what's called a parent school letter to the host campus, and then they will certify you for that course. Okay, so we can do that for you. Just got to notify us, and that just notify us on the certification form. There's a section there that says that the course is at a different campus within the district, or at a separate campus that's outside of our district. Same thing for Chapter 31. One of the things that holds up a lot of Chapter 31 requests is the digital authorization form that needs to come from the VRE counselor is only for ELAC. If you are taking a class at an outside campus, that that counselor needs to be notified, the VRD counselor, and we need to notify them, and you're taking a class at a separate campus, so they can send them a digital authorization so they can pay for your classes and at the other campus. So just be aware of that. If you are doing that, notify us and let us know so we can go ahead and get those forms out. And that's only if you're a guest student at a different campus. Okay. Next slide, please. The most important thing we want to stress is that certification is not automatic. A lot of students will certify first semester, 2 or 3 semesters go by, and they'll call us and says, why haven't I been certified? It's not automatic. You need to request a certification every semester for your benefits. So you need to complete the digital certification form each and every semester before the start of the semester, or once you've enrolled in the courses. A lot of times we have students who may be on a wait list for a class. We can't certify you until you've been officially enrolled into that class. So that may hold up your certification as well. I'm going to cover some of the other reasons why there could be a delay. There could always be a delay, like if, let's say your ed plan hasn't been updated in a year. Some of the courses that you're enrolling are not on your ed plan. We need to get that approved. We need to send it to, we got to request a review by the counselor, the veteran counselor. So make sure when you're certifying, make sure those courses are on your ed plan and they've been approved by a counselor. The other thing is sometimes if you're taking a class at a separate campus and you didn't notify us, it could be, or you added a class after the semester, after your initial certification, you need to notify us, because we can't, we need to be able to update your certification and add that class. Another time, sometimes if you're using Chapter 31 benefits and the VRE counselor has not submitted the purchase order or the authorization, we can't certify you until we have that. Let's say sometimes the materials are not on file. I was going through some of the I was downloading some of the documents, some of the new students, some of the forms. We require the DD-214, a copy of your certificate of eligibility, a copy of your ID. And I've noticed that sometimes the file formats are not accessible. I'll get file formats that are they're not a JPEG, not a PDF, they're in a separate file format. Sometimes they're linked to their home computer, which I don't have access to. So make sure that you upload it in the right file format so there's no delays with your certifications. Because then we have to reach out to you, and maybe on the certification form, we have to send you a revision, request to revise. And that could take, if you don't check your email regularly, maybe it goes to spam folder, sometimes it can take a while. So other thing, make sure that the benefits you're certifying for you are entitled to that benefit. I've had 3 students reach out just the last couple weeks who were trying to apply for a specific benefit that they were not actually eligible, a dependent. They were trying to apply for the Fry Scholarship. They weren't eligible for that. They were actually eligible for Chapter 35. They were applying for the wrong benefit. So we couldn't certify them because they didn't have the right benefit. Other students, so regardless, make sure everything's on file. We had Chapter 35 students who were applying who never submitted a certificate of eligibility. So we didn't have it on file. So we can't certify you until all those proper documents have been submitted. And most of you who have been in the military, everything, it's attention to detail, documents everything has to be signed, and make sure everything's correct so we can certify you. Next slide, please. Okay, so the certification form is on our website. It's actually a link to a digital form, and it can be found on our website, veterans.elac.edu. I already covered that. If you go to our website, you'll see on the left-hand side, there is a link to request for certification. Now, one of the things I want to stress, make sure you read that at least once to get an understanding of how the certification process goes. Well, you want to submit the certification there. You have to report changes to your certification. Also, because we're in a virtual environment, the Veterans Administration will pay in order to get your full housing allowance. You have to take at least one course that's considered in resident. In resident, before we went to a virtual environment, it was a course that was held on campus that had a meeting with, you were in a course, in a setting with an instructor in front of you. Now, because of this, the Veterans Administration has allowed for courses to be virtual, but with live meetings with the instructor. We call that in-resident courses. Here at ELAC, they call it synchronous courses. So when you sign up for your classes, make sure at least one of those classes or at least one unit is synchronous or a hybrid, async and synchronous. Okay, they will also authorize hybrid courses. And I've noticed when I was doing certifications this semester, a lot of courses are still considered hybrid. There's a portion that's online and there's a portion that's actually on campus. So make sure at least one of those courses, and all that information is detailed on that webpage, on that website, very specific examples on how to certify. Otherwise, if you do not certify for at least one course that is in resident or hybrid, the VA will only pay you half of your housing allowance. And that's a big amount. Okay, you're talking, almost $1,500 difference because you did not enroll in approximately $1,500 because you did not enroll in at least one in-resident course. So make sure you read that. Make sure you've taken care of that. For the most part, I've looked at all of that, and most of the certifications I processed, even for the new students, they've all had at least one. But just make sure every semester going forward, until we return to full on-campus courses, you want to make sure you do that. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, payment. So we want to know, first thing, one of the questions I get all the time is, how soon am I going to get paid? A lot of times you'll submit your certification and within 2-3 days we process you, 4 days, and all of a sudden it's like, where's my paycheck? Okay, it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, the VA pays in arrears and only for the days that you've actually attended. So for example, this semester, you started August 30th. You got August 30th, 31st, 2 days, you'll get paid the end of September. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. They pay you. So it's based on 30-day periods. So it's based on the number of days that you're actually in class. So the VA also sends it. They're issued at the beginning of each month for training that occurred during the previous month. Okay, so just be aware of that. If you want additional information on that, you can call the 188 GI Bill 1 phone number to find out when your payment's going to be sent. So anyhow, that's one thing. You want to make sure that's how the VA pays. It always pays in arrears. Okay, and only for the time you're actually in class. Next slide. If you have a question or you need assistance with your GI Bill inquiries, the VA website has a really good website. It has a lot of it's a very comprehensive database of frequently asked questions that I even go there to. I reference that all the time. So if you have a question, you can go ahead and submit a question to the support team. You can call them at the 188 GI Bill number from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Central Time, or you can go on there and search, and you can find, a lot of times you can find questions to your GI Bill questions. But also, like I said, where you can also reach out to us as well. So next slide. Social media, you want to go to their social media page. There's a lot of updates on there. I'm subscribed to there. I always get updates of different changes that are coming to the VA. You want to go ahead and go to their social media Facebook page, and maybe, I don't think they have an Instagram, but I think their Facebook page is one of the best resources for updates on your GI Bill or post 9/11 GI Bill benefits. Okay, next slide, please. Real quick, some facts. So it does say that you have no time limit on using your GI Bill, but depending on when you got out of the military, you may or may not have a time limit on using your GI Bill. So it says if you left the military after January 1st, which many of you veterans have already left after that time, there should be no time limit on your GI Bill. It's called the Forever GI Bill. But some veterans who discharged prior to that, there is a delimiting date. We've had a couple students who have had their benefits ended after a 15-year period. So I don't think that's going to apply to you. So I'm going to kind of skip over this, but just make sure if you do, I don't think it applies to anybody that's in here right now, but just be aware of that. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so Ms. Peak mentioned earlier that the GI Bill is not federal financial aid, so it's not considered financial aid in that traditional sense. So they don't consider that when that pay is paid directly to you. So this means that you may be eligible for student loans, scholarships, and Pell Grants along with your GI Bill. So that's why we encourage you, apply for financial aid. Okay, it won't hurt you, it'll benefit you. Next slide. Also, you can start and stop using the GI Bill as needed. Unfortunately, many people believe that once you apply for benefits, you have to remain in college, in school to get the full benefit. That's not true. You can use it for any period of time. So you can, we've had students who will use it for, they'll use 5 months of entitlement and take a 2-year break and come back and start using their entitlement there. So you can use it however you use it. Just make sure that, like I said, you just have to apply. If you go to a different campus or a different college, you just have to reapply to reuse your benefits, because that's going to be your home campus. Okay. And some students will may not use their benefits right away. Like Ms. Peak mentioned, they may wait till they go to a 4-year college to work on their master's degree, and then they decide to use the benefit there. So they may have started it, at a community college, used maybe 2-3 months of entitlement, and then they saved it and they're using it now at a different campus when they transfer out. So you can start and stop, and that's fine, as you need it. Next slide, please. Also, it says the months of benefits don't always mean the term month. It can be confusing. So you usually get 36 months of entitlement for post 9/11 GI Bill, and also for Chapter 35. So you don't have to use all of it in that one 36-month period. So you have, like, for example, if you do one full-time semester, 30 days, that's 1 month's worth of benefits, or entitlement is what they call it. If you only go to school from March 1st to March 15th, technically it's 1.5 months of benefits, so it's 1.5 months of entitlement. So that's how the VA calculates that. So that's it. So next slide. I know I got a time limit. So okay, so going forward, we mentioned that certification is automatic. We mentioned that the student contract does require you to notify us of any type of changes to your enrollment, whether it's an add, a drop, you have an increase, you drop all your classes, you don't want to get an overpayment. So what's happened, the VA realized that a lot of times this was happening, the students were not notifying us. And so they were ending up getting large overpayments that they had to pay back. So now the VA has implemented a new policy. They're going to request monthly enrollment verification. So it's a new requirement for post 9/11 GI Bill students. Many of you may have already received a text or an email, and if you haven't, you'll probably get one pretty soon. So every month that you're enrolled in a course of training, and you're certified, we certified you, you're going to be required to verify that your enrollment has not changed. Okay, next slide. Currently, only right now, non-college degree facilities have already implemented this. Anybody who's receiving a monthly housing allowance or any kicker payments, they already implemented this. So they are going to get a text or an email every month, and possibly even a phone call to confirm that they have they're still enrolled in those courses. They haven't changed. Now, starting December 17th of 2021, students at institutions of higher learning, which ELAC is one of those institutions, and you receive a monthly housing allowance or kicker payments, you're going to be impacted. What's going to happen, and it may be later for those who are post 9/11 GI Bill students, but you're going to get a text, an email, or a phone call asking you to verify your enrollment, that you're still enrolled, no changes have been made, but you still want to notify us as well. But now what's going to happen, the way it's going to impact you, next slide, if you fail to respond within 2 months, they may hold your payments. So you might want to make sure if you fail to submit enrollment verification, either by text, phone, or email, they will hold your payments until you verify that. Okay, so you want to make sure you stay on top of that. You can verify your enrollment via text message or by calling the educational call center. They recommend you do it by text. It's easier and faster. So go ahead and do that. And I think that is the last slide, Ms. Peak. Is there one more after this? Questions? Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Now, like I mentioned earlier, as of October 1st, Raziel Vela will be the new primary school certifying official. He currently handles the sheriff and fire academies and also GI Bill benefits from letters M to Z. But after this, he will be handling all of it. Chapters 30, 31, 33, 35, 1606, and 1607. The 1606 Selective Reserve Chapter 35, Dependents Educational Assistance, 33, Post 911, 31, BR&E, and 30, Montgomery GI Bill, as well as Sheriff and Fire Academy certifications. So going forward, you want to make sure you reach out to them. Their emails on there, phone numbers are on there. And you can always email us if you have a question, or you can live chat with us. So thank you. And thank you.
Thanks, Mark. That was a lot of great information. So thank you so much for presenting on how to use your VA educational benefits at ELAC. So I know you've alluded to you know, leaving or, you know,
Yeah.
at
Can I,
October 1st, it's Rozzy. We are, you know, preparing for that change, but definitely we're going to miss you. So
thank you. Yeah. And for those who need to know or want to know, I accepted a position at a Riverside Community College District, still working with student veterans. So I'm still going to be helping supporting our student veteran population. It just, I moved out here, and so I'm a lot closer to work. So that's why. So not because I don't like you guys, love you guys. I love working with you guys. I just have, it was, so that's why I keep mentioning that I'm going to be transitioning to a new role. So you'll probably still see me in the veteran circles. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mark. Okay, and we are at the 12 o'clock hour. You know, we just have basically, I wanted to share this information with you, and then I can take some questions. I completely understand if you need to leave at this time, but if you have any questions, you know, you can go ahead and put that into the chat now, and then we can make sure we get to it as soon as I finish this slide here. So this is a very quick upcoming Charlie Mike presentation slide. So our Charlie Mike Continue Mission kickoff was today with a new student veteran orientation. Every Wednesday in September, we have what's called our noon forums. And during these noon forums, we are plugging in topics to keep going with our Charlie Mike and finish up the month. Because typically in person, our Charlie Mike would be a pretty huge grand scaled event where we welcome our new students as well as our continuing students, and it's a really great event. We bring in lots of different resources and organizations, but with COVID we couldn't do it. So this is our second year being virtual with Charlie Mike. It is very different, but we have to plan to spread out our content, otherwise you'd be here with us all day virtually. So the following Wednesdays, we have planned September 8th at noon on Zoom. We will send you links to register, but it's using Canvas for online, hybrid, in-person, and online synchronous courses. It's going to be offered by Ruben Roque, who you met earlier, the SERVS coordinator and Army veteran, as well as a psychology faculty member here at ELAC. So he's going to go over it step by step with you. He offered it, I think it was last semester, maybe, or the semester before with our VRC, and it was a really great workshop. So we're looking forward to offering that again for you. September 8th, 2021, it's a breakdown of financial aid, scholarships, and VA education benefits. We're going to dive in a little bit more on that eligibility. We're also going to dive in a bit more on when should you consider using it, you know, looking at it from the investment perspective. So we are going to be discussing that on September 8th. September 22nd, we're going to be exploring educational pathways. I'll be presenting on AA degrees at ELAC, transfer and graduate programs. All of this is geared towards our military connected students. So that's anywhere from veterans, service members, dependents, and spouses. And September 29th, 2021, a beginner's guide to understanding the VA's Chapter 31, Veteran Readiness and Employment Program. There is a lot to know about Chapter 31, and we want to share that with you. So we will be bringing in a Chapter 31 VA counselor to talk to you and share with you information about Chapter 31 and the advice that will be given to you. Will be definitely worth listening and tuning into. So if you can take a screenshot of this, that'd be pretty great. That way you can put it into your calendars and save those dates and times. That'd be awesome. But again, we'll be like sending you this information too. Finally, we just want to, from all of us at the VRC and the entire ELAC campus community, just welcome to ELAC. Charlie, Mike, keep that in mind. Continue mission. Keep going. We're here to help. If you need to take a break to figure things out, take that break. But keep going and don't stop reaching out for that support. That's what we're here for. We've got your six. We know what resources we can point you towards. We know what services we can provide. You just have to come to us and let us know. And we're on your team. So our VRC is your VRC. Oh, that was like a mi casa, su casa moment right there. But it really is true. Our VRC is home to our veterans. We really look forward to maybe someday seeing you in person. Razi's there pretty much every day. Stop by, say hi to him. If you're in the area, we're in D7 Alpha bungalow by the swim stadium in the parking lot. So you can also see us online, and there's our website there. So at this time, I'll go ahead and take any questions. So let's see if anything has been asked. Okay, so I see that Cindy answered a question that Isaiah had earlier. So yes, absolutely. Thank you, Cindy, for addressing the question. You can apply for unemployment while using the GI Bill. Yes, you can. So Christian asked, I had a question. I was a student at LA Trade Tech, but switched to ELAC for the summer. I signed up to receive financial aid during my time at LA Trade Tech, but I switched to receive the benefits for ELAC as my home school. However, on the student portal under the financial aid tab, it says that I have the Pell Grant, but it says Trade Tech. Uh-oh. Does that matter, or do I need to change something? I also had my homeschool as Trade Tech, but I sent a request to change it to ELAC back in spring, but it still hasn't updated. Okay, so what I'm going to ask is for Sal. Sal, can you check the homeschool on the educational plan? Make sure that's aligned with ELAC, please. And then what I'll do, Christian, is if you can go ahead and email me with these questions about financial aid in the homeschool, I will connect you with our financial aid point of contact, Gloria Palau, who can pretty much look into the financial aid side and make sure that you do get that homeschool changed, make that change happen. Because yes, it is very important that it changes to ELAC. It shouldn't say Trade Tech. So we'll do what we can on our end with your educational plan to make it reflect ELAC. But here is my email again. Okay, so go ahead and shoot me an email and I will connect you with Gloria from Financial Aid. Sound good? You're welcome. All right, so any other questions? If you have any other questions, go ahead and feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. Did we address every question you might have? Probably not. I'm sure something will come up. So if you think of anything.
I had a question.
All right. Okay, what's your question?
I know unemployment has been closed lately. Does anyone have like a contact information to like file unemployment? Because I know it's different. Like they have to have like a veterans rep there present. So.
Yeah. So what I'm going to recommend, let me ask Mark. Mark, do you have an EDD POC directly?
So if you want all the information, I can help you out on that too.
That sounds really great. Cindy, just so my next step of
Okay.
support.
Can you?
Oh, so Cindy offered to give you that information and the support. So Cindy will connect with you for that. But I was telling Cindy also, if you need to, VPAN would be great. So Rudy, I know Rudy has connections to EDD as well, and he might have some inside connections.
What are their emails? By any chance, so I can email them?
Okay.
Number maybe.
Yeah, of course. Cindy, you want to go ahead and drop your email again, please?
If you can put it in the group chat.
Yeah. She's plugging it in right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And Isaiah, just so you know too, there is the network that we're connected with called the Veteran Peer Access Network. And it is like so holistic and it encompasses so much. So for sure, like that would be an organization that I would definitely suggest that you like start to look into. We do have our point of contact, Rudy, and he's on our Zooms on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9 a.m., 9 to 10 a.m. So we'll get that information to you about the Zoom link, and you can always drop in and talk to Rudy about any type of questions such as EDD as well. Okay. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mark. Mark dropped something in there too for you. He dropped some resource. So, all righty.
I have Victor. Victor, are you still there? You want to ask something? Because you kind of chat with us right now.
Oh, who?
Oh, Victor?
Hello?
Victor? Hi, Victor.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I hear you.
Sorry about that. So quick question. I'm actually trying to schedule an appointment for next week, but I'm not seeing anything pop up.
Okay, I can do that for you.
Okay.
Just give me your, text me your student ID and a student email.
Of course, give me 1 second.
Well, I'm glad that Cindy's able to help. It's what we do here. So
That's what we hear.
that's our team. See that? Ask and you shall get serviced. Cool. All right. Any other questions out there? Okay. So then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's 12:12. Again, I just want to thank you for joining us today. I know it was a ton of information, but we got through it, and it's information that you need to know and need to be aware of. That's our goal, to provide you with the tools that you need to be successful. Because you registered, you're also going to be picking up at some point. You can pick up your backpacks. I would say tomorrow, come on in tomorrow. I think today is a pretty busy film production day on campus next to the VRC. But if you want to stop by next week, Rosie's going to be there, and you can pick up your new student care package. It comes with a pretty cool VRC backpack as well. So just little information there, and also a Walmart gift card to help you with the semester. And you can pick one up starting Monday. So anytime, Monday through Friday, are hours of operation.
Okay, what room is that by any chance?
We're in D7A. So
D7A.
yeah, D7A, and we are, if you've never been to our bungalow, we're like right in the parking lot next to the swim stadium.
The swim stadium. Okay.
Yeah, we're there. So so just pop on in anytime, 9 to 5:30, Monday through Thursday, and then 9 to 4 on Friday.
Okay.
But,
great.
yeah, we have some great goodies in there. So I'm really glad that you joined us today.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
All right. So that concludes our new student veteran orientation. I hope to see you at our Charlie Mike Wednesday noon forum sessions for this month. And registration links will be sent out for those as well. But y'all have a great weekend. And I'm glad that we've all connected. So thanks for joining us.
Everyone. Thank you.